What's up to Lion Talk Live? So we love you too, buddy.
What's going on, guys? It is Aiden Hutchinson.
What's up, man? It's your boy Amon-Ra St. Brown.
What's up, everybody? It's Calvin Johnson Jr. here, a.k.a. Megatron, a.k.a. First Ballot.
What's going on, Coach Dan at Lions Talk Live and the Do Crew. This is Ball Hawk Ifeatu Melifonwu of the Detroit Lions. Everybody make sure you help support the YouTube channel Lions Talk Live by clicking that like and subscribe button. Let's get it and go Detroit.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Dan Skipper, offensive weapon for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you all help support Lions Talk Live and Coach Dan by clicking on that like and subscribe button. Everybody, woo!
I love nothing more than watching Lions Talk Live every morning. Woo!
Well, greetings and salutations to everybody out there in YouTube land. I am your host once again, Dan Thornton. I want to thank you all for joining me here today. Hey, it is Monday. It is the day after the Lions found out who they're going to face in the first game of the NFL playoffs, the second round of the NFL playoffs. That's right, the Lions had a first round bye, so they got to kick on back, drink some delicious Mountain Dew, maybe have some hot Takis with delicious cheese dip, whatever it may be. The Lions got to kick back, and now we all know if you had plans for Saturday night, you're probably changing them because you're getting ready to head on over to Ford Field, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to watch the Detroit Lions versus the Washington Commanders. It is going to be a rematch in the playoffs for the first time since, I want to say, 1991 when these two teams played. They were still called the Redskins then. It was over in Washington, and yes, it didn't go to the Detroit Lions' way. But what we can say here is the Lions will be the favored team to win this. They're going to face a rookie quarterback. They're going to have to come up with some things because the Washington Commanders' offense is pretty dang good. Their rookie quarterback is playing pretty dang well. Now, can the Lions beat them? We'll find out. We'll debate it throughout the week. You're going to hear it from me and 20 billion other different people about breaking down this matchup. We'll start the process with that a little bit here today and get into all that. The 5 headlines now, the whole shebang-a-bang. All right, real quick before we get the show rolling and going, if you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. We are, 91 subs away from hitting 12,900. So if you can help out with that, that would be most welcomed. Also, if you have half second of time, it is free of charge. Reach on down, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the share button, hit all the buttons, hit the buttons for the buttons on the buttons, and that will help the channel out a lot. We try to get every video between 200 to 300, maybe 400 or more thumbs up or likes. So if you can, please, por favor, do so. Last but never least, if you're considering buying or selling property anywhere in the great state of Michigan or the continental United States, go ahead and give me a call or shoot me a text. You see the number on the screen, 269-998-2384. We can have a quick conversation about, what you're looking for in that new home, maybe vacant land, commercial property, whatever it is. Go ahead and let me know. I've been in the industry over 30 years, and we'll try to help you out. Make sure you save some money. Don't make any mistakes, and get a good deal. So, all right, with all that said and done and now out of the way, let's get this show rolling and going because I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty dang pumped for Saturday night. Yes, I'm going to change my plans and make sure I'm fully available for Saturday night. All right, let's get into 5 headlines now. I personally hope we win by 700 points Saturday. Just make sure the second half we can just rest everybody. But we'll see what that happens. I do think Washington Commanders are going to be a pretty good matchup as far as a good strong game between both teams. All right, 5 glorious headlines now. Might even have a few bonus ones here. Commanders wide receiver, quote, "We're going to be ready for this moment," end quote, against Lions. Corey Woods, MLive.com with this one. Hey, every athlete, if you're out there, you're thinking you can play, you're thinking you have an opportunity. I'd be afraid of an athlete or a coach who thought, nah, we got no shot here. we're just going to kind of show up, collect a paycheck, and get out of here. But, hey, right after the game, you knew this was coming. Media members started interviewing Washington, asking about this matchup with the Detroit Lions. And Terry McLaurin, hey, he's a pretty dang good wide receiver. The Commanders, again, I think they've got a real good offense. And, yes, they had a little bit of luck going their way with the doink off the upright. For those who don't know, basically as time was going to expire, Washington kicked the field goal. Here's the right upright. It clinked, hit it, and then shanked in. So, hey, sometimes you got to have a little luck. But McLaurin, he says that his team isn't going to be intimidated by the Detroit Lions. What do you expect him to say? They're all pumped up. They're ready to go. I think both teams are going to be pretty dang set for this one. It'll be interesting to see what Aaron Glenn has to slow down Daniels, their rookie quarterback, and some of the offense, because they do have an explosive offense. And McLaurin is right. His team will be pumped up and ready for this. All right, Lions playoff schedule. Detroit will host Commanders next Saturday night. Story by Jeff Risden, USA Today. I think you guys all get the times and all that. So 8 o'clock next Saturday night, Eastern Standard Time. Hey, Lions, Washington or Detroit and Washington are going to kick this thing off. They're going to get it going. What I was surprised by is, since Washington's game didn't end till 11:30 or something like that last night, now they got to fly back to Washington, which isn't a horrible flight by any stretch of the imagination from Tampa Bay. So really, they're getting in somewhere, this morning. We'll just say somewhere around probably 3 a.m., maybe, right around there. Now they got to turn around. They'll probably have today off, I'm assuming, for their coaches. But man, come Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, they've got maybe not even all of Friday. They're going to have to prep for the Detroit Lions, probably fly to Detroit on Friday. My guess is probably around 4 p.m., land, get situated, get food. But I think you get the gist. They just aren't good. They're going to have a compressed week for sure. So that's an advantage for the Detroit Lions. And I'll say this as a coach, a player, whatever you want to say, a YouTube dude. I'll take every advantage we can get. I think this is awesome for us. And not just for this game, but now you look at the next game. Assuming the Lions win against Washington, you're going to have a longer week. You're going to have about 8 days until we play, assumingly. So I think this all set up pretty dang well for the Detroit Lions. I'm glad that the NFL maybe inadvertently gave us a few advantages, but I'll take, again, every advantage we can get. All right, quote, how is this allowed? End quote. Ragging NFL fans beg for Tom Brady to be taken off, quote, biased, end quote, Detroit Lions playoff game. TalkSports.com for this one. I had never heard of Talk Sports before, but I did wake up this morning and say, there are a number of people talking about it in print media, YouTube media, or whatever. I didn't think there were big comments, but apparently some people did. Tom Brady, for those who don't know, he is a minority owner in the Las Vegas Raiders. And yes, he would like to see Ben Johnson perhaps become a head coach for the Raiders. Does that make sense to me? Sure. The Raiders got a lot of stuff going on. Tom Brady, I'm sure he wants what's best for his franchise. Well, I mean, why wouldn't he? That's why he's there, is to help get them to the promised land. So do I think Ben Johnson is an ideal fit for them? Why not? Who wouldn't take him, I guess? Should Brady not be working the mic because he voiced that opinion? I don't know, man. To me, this is kind of something about nothing, but to each their own. Whether or not Fox is going to take him off the air, I doubt it. He does bring in ratings for them. He does bring in, to be fair, a pretty good analyst. I haven't listened to him a ton on air, but when I have, I'd say he knows as much as anybody else out there. I mean, he is Tom freaking Brady, after all. He's won a gajillion Super Bowls. So we'll see what shakes out with it. All right, Ruben, a Detroit Lions wedding registry spotlights the uncertainty of life in the NFL. Opinion by Neil Rubin, Detroit Free Press. Those who don't know, most NFL players do not have guaranteed contracts. I get we live in the day and age now for about 5 or 7 years now, where you do hear a lot of guys say, hey, they're going to get 50% of their contract guaranteed, or they're going to this amount guaranteed or whatever. But that's really the minority of NFL players. You figure there's roughly, I don't even know, maybe 2,700 guys in the NFL. Maybe 100 of them, 200 of them have pretty good guaranteed money. The rest of them, man, you're on a week-to-week paycheck. And so this story talks about our Jake Bates. And in fact, I guess he's getting married. Some of the things he put in the guest registry, specifics like a Meet Plus wireless smart model for $100, all sorts of stuff. He apparently understands right now he is the kicker of the Detroit Lions, but this is a guy who's also been through the mud. He's, been left for dead, not wanted by teams, cut, etc. And then he caught fire with the UFL before latching out with the Detroit Lions. He understands he's living in the moment, and anybody who probably understands the uncertainty life can bring understands probably what an NFL player is going through. So kudos for Neil Rubin for kind of going outside the box with this story. Detroit Lions star rookie cornerback Enos Rakestraw returned to practice window. Story by Dave Burkett of Detroit Free Press. Burkett kind of rehashes a story from a couple days ago when we all found out from MCDC that Rakestraw would be coming back. But he does go into this one from yesterday. a little bit more in-depthly, talks about how the Lions in the postseason may be relying on him to some degree to help fill in a little bit more and more. Is he going to supplant anybody in the starting lineup? Probably not this year, maybe next year, but he does talk about Vildor's special teams. And let's be fair, when Rakestraw was playing this year before the hamstring injury, he played very well, in my opinion, on special teams, especially when he was the gunner, etc. He covered. In a game of inches, which most playoff games are going to be, you're always looking for the small little advantages. I'll point out Philly versus Green Bay yesterday. In my opinion, the game really came down to a couple key plays. Yes, they won comfortably by whatever it was, 12 points or something like that. But you take away that opening kickoff of the game. That's just a terrible way to start a playoff game, right? You fumble the football, you give them basically a score right off the bat. You take that away, that game's probably pretty dang close. You also probably take some stress and pressure off Jordan Love. That didn't happen, but to Burkett's point, Rakestraw may end up being a diamond in the rough in the postseason. All right, now, like I said, I'm going to give you guys a few more than 5 headlines now. Roundtable: how the return of Dave Montgomery will aid the Lions offense. Story by Vito Schrico of SI.com. I think he's right. Gibbs, let's be fair. Gibbs has played incredibly well, holding down the fort, whatever you want to say, with Monty gone. And I think we're all thankful to have him. There are some across the league that are saying maybe Gibbs should be the full-time back, get the lion's share of the snaps, 100%, 90%, whatever it is. I'm not here to debate that part because I think both guys have value. What I can say is having Dave Montgomery back is just another weapon in the arsenal for this Lions offense. I don't know if he's going to be 100%. I don't know if he's going to be 90%. I'm just going to say if they put him on the field, they have faith in him, and he has faith in that leg and knee, that MCL. It'll be interesting to see what they do, but with all that being said, if he really is healthy, if he is able to do what Dave Montgomery does, the other advantage Detroit has with Dave Montgomery is you think he's been out for, a month and a half? Those legs are going to be pretty dang fresh compared to most players this time of the year. We get it. The NFL is just a dang long season for football. There is so much wear and tear put on these bodies. The fact that D. Monty is going to be able to come on out and hit people with fairly fresh legs, I think that's a big plus for us. And I think in this particular matchup against Washington, that's going to be a big thing because they're going to have to focus on stopping him, which he is a completely different type of back than Gibbs. I think one helps the other. I do also want to say, in my opinion, I'm assuming that Gibbs is going to still get about 65% of the snaps, while 35% goes to Monty or whoever else. I could be totally wrong on that, but that's my anticipation. All right, with all this said and done out of the way, let's start breaking down this big matchup. So let's go ahead and get over to the main topic of the day. All right, be honest with me. When you guys saw that Washington won, were you happy about that? Were you sad with that? Let me know in the comment section. Who did you think would be the most ideal matchup for our first playoff game? I know we've talked about it a little bit in the last week, and it seems like a lot of people either said Green Bay or Washington. So now that that's come to fruition that we're going to get the Commanders, are you happy or sad about it? Do you think there should have been somebody else? I can only tell you my opinion. I'm just glad it's not the Rams or Vikings. I was kind of tired of that matchup, all that stuff. We may still face one of them in the NFC title game when we win against Washington. And no, I'm not going to say if we win or whatever. That's something coaches don't do. That's something players don't do. And you know what? Like we were talking about with Terry McLaurin earlier, you got to believe that your team's got a chance, and I think we got a real good chance. Ford Field, I wonder if we'll hit like the 130 decimal level and all that, because I got to imagine, sort of like we did to Sam Darnold, you're going to do everything you can if you're Aaron Glenn, that, hey, I'm going to show you one look when you break that huddle, and when he gets that line of scrimmage, we're going to shift and switch. So if there's only, say, 10 seconds or whatever left on the play clock, it's going to be dang tough for him, any quarterback, not just a rookie quarterback, to make those adjustments consistently throughout the game. That's one thing I will say, watching the Philly defense, I thought they did a real good job. They make you earn that drive down the field. All right, enough of that, though. All right, so let's get into 5 things to know about Washington Commanders, Detroit Lions, divisional round opponent. And let's go on down. Hardware-worthy season for Jaden Daniels. Man, I'm killing that one. We all get it. He's a rookie, but he's a rookie who's playing lights out. He's a rookie who's playing as well as, you could say, all but maybe 10% of the league's quarterbacks. He's basically man, he's playing like a veteran. He's done so much good stuff overall. And if you were the Chicago Bears, you really got to be kicking yourself in the butt, and your scouting department probably heads on the chopping blocks for not having drafted him. And I'm not here to talk in-depthly about that, but Washington just doing everything they did. Plus, he's a mobile quarterback. He just looks like the real deal out there, and he's going to put some real stress, I'm anticipating, on Aaron Glenn and the Detroit Lions defense, because he is so multifaceted. They do have deep receivers and speed receivers. You could say, hey, they're averaging to just under 29 points a game. That is the third best in the NFL. So good for him. I think the Lions are going to have to cook up some stuff. I've already given you some thoughts on what I think they're going to have to do. We'll see what Aaron Glenn looks to do. Dynamic rushing duo, Daniels and Robertson Jr. The Commanders were a top 3 rushing attack, averaging 154.1 yards on the ground per game. Big reason why was Daniels, who averaged 6 yards per attempt, more than half, 75 of 148 of Daniels' carries came on scrambles or design pass plays where he decided to tuck it and run it. That's according to Pro Football Focus. He accounted for 595 yards on those 75 scramble plays per Pro Football Focus. Most scrambles in the NFL this year. Yes, Jaden Daniels led the way with 75. The next was Bo Nix at 50, Caleb Williams 48, Drake May 45, and Brock Purdy at 44. So, hey, he was a scrambling man indeed. The gettable defense, the Commanders are ranked 18th in the NFL in points allowed at 23 and 13th in total defense per game at 328, rounding up. They rank 30th against the run, 137.47 yards allowed per game. Third in passing defense, 189.5 passing yards per allowed a game, and 20th in takeaways at 17. Washington has given up 30 or more points in 5 games. Most recently, week 16. The defense closed the year strong. Other than giving up 33 to the Eagles that week, they're holding 4 of the last 5 opponents under 24 points or fewer. Linebacker Bobby Wagner and both second-team All-Pros led the defense. Wagner led the team with 132 tackles, allowed to aggressively go downhill with safety Jeremiah Chin with 117 up front. So we get it. They do have some players. They're playing better. They're doing some stuff on D. I just think, probably like you guys are thinking, Detroit Lions offense is just dang tough to stop. We all get it. We can spread you out. We got so many different weapons. I do wonder what Ben Johnson's going to have going up in here. I'm guessing early and often he's going to try to put some pressure on Washington and keep them at bay. I think if you can score, like we talked about in the last game against Minnesota, you score early, you keep putting more pressure on them. Now, what I was talking about earlier about the showing one thing out of the huddle, showing another thing when Daniels walks the line of scrimmage, I think you just put more and more mental stress and fatigue on that young man. So nothing against him. I just hope we get him. All right, so beyond that, when you guys look at this matchup, where do you think the strengths are? Where do you think the weaknesses are? In my opinion, the strengths of the Detroit Lions are going to be the offensive line of scrimmage versus their defensive line. And they do have a fairly decent defensive line. Don't get me wrong. I just think the Lions are going to be able to control that line and force Washington defensively to have to consistently send probably 5 or 6 guys in the run game containment, but also to try to get to Goff. Goff has time. He's going to chew up that secondary. I just don't think that secondary is particularly strong. Now, conversely, when we look at the Lions against them, here's where I think it plays to our strength. We've been talking for 2 months now on this show, and you guys probably heard it in other places, that I think while all the injuries have changed this defense, doesn't mean it's not a defense without strengths. You could see that with the all-pro voting, the fact that, not voting, but the awards that, Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch both are all-pro defensive players. Terrion Arnold, I'm assuming he's going to be okay this week. He's going to play. And then Meek Robinson. That really seems to be the strength of this team. And now you add Anzalone, who we all saw against the Vikings. Man, he's one of the best coverage linebackers in the NFL. So right there, you've got 5 guys that can fly and put pressure on people in person-to-person, man-to-man coverage. I think that opens up an exciting amount of opportunities for Aaron Glenn to play some zone blitzes, man blitzes, keep making it difficult on Daniels. The running game isn't bad. I just don't think it's, over the world great. As long as you can contain it the vast majority of the time, I think you're forcing Jaden Daniels into a lot of probably second longs, third and mids or longs, and that's where the blitzes can really get home. I think no different than we saw with Sam Darnold. You're going to try to do everything you can to force him to get rid of that ball quick. You're not going to want him to hold on to the ball for 5, 6, 7 seconds. So now you look at our defensive front. Zadarius Smith, has he been all world in his time in Detroit? No, but has he been sound? I'd say most of us would say yes. Levi Onwuzurike, last game, and I know we talked about it going into last game, I thought he was one of the guys that really needed to step up. But you go back and watch not just the Minnesota Vikings game, but some of the prior games before that, I think he's been playing real well the last month. And that doesn't mean he's going to the Hall of Fame or anything like that. But I just think, man, you can see a clear growth with this guy. And I hope we would re-sign him. I've also said this before. I think if he's not the fastest defensive tackle in the league, he's amongst a rare few, maybe like top 5 or something like that. So now you go, if those 3 are playing well, then it just comes down to whoever Aaron Glenn's going to put at the other side. My guess is it will be, or continue to be, Alaquin Muhammad, along with some rotational guys. Maybe there's some other people that step up. But I think you're going to continue to force everybody's, hey, you can't run on us. We're going to jam the box, contain the lanes, set the edges. Meek Robertson, Terry Arnold, I think both do a great job of that. Arnold has definitely improved upon that over his rookie year. But Carlton Davis, when he was out there, he got better and better, I thought, as the season went on. Meek Robinson, I don't know. Just since he's come in, it's hard to run out wide on his side for any opposing team. So I think that is going to force a lot of teams into third and long situations, third and mid situations where that blitz really has an opportunity. You're going to put everybody in that secondary on an island against Washington, but I think that's playing to your strengths. 1 or 2 missed passes could be picks for the Detroit Lions, and there is some possibility I think the Lions could get a few picks in this game. It's probably way too early in the week. I stayed up way too long trying to analyze film, do the coach thing, even did some this morning before I got on air with you guys. But I would say this, I'm not going to give a score prediction until Friday, and that's what I normally do on the show. But I love our matchups on that outside. I love our matchups over the middle with our safeties. And I get Brian Branch as a safety who plays corner, all that kind of stuff. But I don't see where there's, something that I'm just like, this is a bad matchup for us. There's some matchups that I think are pushes, but I think this is probably, if you're asking my opinion, other than if Green Bay would have won, I think Green Bay is so beat up right now that would have been an ideal matchup for the Lions. But if you could have your next best matchup, I think it would have been Washington. And I want to be fair to both teams. I think both teams are very well coached. They got some real good players. You don't make it this far in the playoffs unless you have some strengths and you've got some good stuff going on both your offense and defense. So it's really kind of splitting hairs who you want to play, who you want to face. The only thing I can say is that most of us, we seem to want, when I asked you guys last week or the week before, who do you want to face in the playoffs? You wanted somebody new. You don't want to see somebody you've already seen 50 other times. Tampa Bay, we saw them. It started this year. We saw them last year, et cetera, et cetera. Same with, the Rams, same with Minnesota, same with Green Bay. So really Washington was the only new matchup we could get, and we got it. All right, you've heard me ramble on probably way too long with this. Let me scroll to the top of the screen. I'm guessing this will be we're all going to be pumped up this week for this game. It is the playoffs. Let's get after it. And Shamir, greetings and salutations. Back at you. Hopefully it's a good one. JDC, morning all. Hopefully it's a great start to your day. Bo, good morning, Dew Crew. Bring on the Redskins. Exclamation point. I see Subo. Woo! 100%, man. You imagine when Saturday night closes at whatever time it's going to be, 11:30 p.m. Lions win this game. Just imagine how much energy is going to be flying into Detroit for that NFC title game. Time to send Jaden Daniels home Saturday. I like the way you're thinking. Jason, a porous run defense on 6 days rest with a rookie quarterback on the road up against our hungry, rested, grit-tested Lions? Question mark, not a chance. Superdome or bust. I think you and I are analyzing that tape fairly similarly, but we'll see what shakes out. Let's see, Big Daz, exclamation points. I like the way you're thinking. Moonscar, good morning, Duke Crew, starting lineup, exclamation point. Don't care about who we play, seek and destroy our way to the Superdome. I think we're going to be going there, but hey, one game at a time. Coach talk there. Clark, woo! Washington didn't look bad, but I like our matchup with them. Me too, man. Me too. And hey, If you're a Tampa Bay fan, there's probably some things you aren't feeling good about today. The doink isn't the only thing. You probably think Washington got away with a few things. I get that. That's anytime you win or lose in sports, that's going to pop up and happen. Tampa Bay, though, I thought, I really like their coach. I really like, some of the things they do. I think there's a couple things they could have done differently. Of course, anytime you lose, everybody's going to say that, right? All right, Lions Talk Live fan, good morning, all. Back at you. Bo, I gave Washington props. Only road team that won, 100%. Unless Minnesota wins today. So far, it's been home dominated. Big Daz, good morning, Coach Dan and the Duke crew. Bring on the Commanders. We'll be bringing them on Saturday night. Lions Talk Live fan, I like our matchup with anyone. Me too. Me too, my friend. Big Eddie Gritty salutations. I think Rams win tonight, and it's Stafford versus Goff in the NFC title game. Can you imagine if that goes down? But to be honest, I could see it happening. I could see LA winning tonight. And Philly, I get Hurts is, hasn't played in 3 weeks, a little rusty there. Could it happen? Absolutely. I guess we'll just see what shakes out, though. Johnny L., good morning, everybody. I hope all is well. It is for Detroit, and I think it will be good for Detroit. Detroit Mac, good morning. Duke crew, I'm glad we got Washington. I feel we match up well against them. In my opinion, I want Rams. I'd rather play Stafford than the Vikings/Eagles. Regardless, I'm smelling Super Bowl. Woo! And yes, all eyes right now on the Super Bowl, but got to get to Washington first. Let's see, Johnny L. Lions, 100%. Joseph, good morning, Duke crew. Back at you. Hopefully it's a good start to your day. Moonscar, I picked the Chargers as the only road team to win over the weekend. Let's just say I didn't do well enough on that. It happens, man. And I thought the Chargers really kind of blew that game. They could have been off to a great start. They just didn't take advantage of their opportunities. Detroit D, greetings, salutations to everyone. Bring on the Commanders. I like the way you're thinking. Good morning, my friend. Trey, what up, Duke crew? Question mark. AG will have his hands filled with Daniels. Kid is special. He is, man. I mean, I think to your point, one, he's mobile, which we all get. Mobile quarterbacks provide some different issues for teams. The other part is his ability to throw downfield. I think he really puts great touch on the downfield throws. It's impressive watching him locate receivers and hit them. So for sure, it'll be a test for us. Who do we play next, Ed? Well, that will be the Washington Commanders. JDC, Puff, woo, Coffee, and Lions Talk Live. I like you're off to a great start to your day. Big Daz looks like quite a game. Exclamation point. The rookie quarterback looks tough, but we got him. Oh, yeah. Woo! 100%. And man-to-man coverage, I think, it's going to test his accuracy. Not like I think Daniels has accuracy issues, but it's tough for veteran quarterbacks when you're under pressure in that loud environment, let alone somebody who's not as versed at it. Henry Moore, good morning, Coach Dan and Duke crew, exclamation point. And now the Commanders. Let's go, Lions. Let's get going and get on winning. Tori Apple, good morning. I like the fact Washington gets a short week to face us. I'll take every advantage we can get, 100% with that. Yeah, I was surprised they gave us, considering the fact they played that late, I was surprised they gave us a Saturday night game, but let's also be fair. NFL is a business. They'll play teams on Sunday and have them turn around and play on Wednesdays on Christmas. I thought that was kind of not ideal for the players, but the other part of that is you do get a long break afterwards, I guess, but it is a business. Brother Ken, greetings and salutations, Coach Dan and Duke crew. Same to you. Joe's, okay, so it's Washington. Yes, it is. Bring on Washington. Hendricks fan, Washington, the good news is you beat Tampa Bay, and now you play Detroit. The bad news is you beat Tampa, and now you play Detroit. You're not wrong with that. You're not wrong with that at all. Johnny L., I really don't care who we play. Hey, that's good because you know what? We're going to face somebody, and we know who it is now. JDC, Motor City Duke crew, rules. Jess, greetings, salutations. We need guys like Turner to step up and help stop Daniels from running on us. Yeah, he's probably going to be put in some spots where he's going to have to help contain, and he's going to have to do a good job. Brother Ken 70, if I'm driving down the freeway with my Colorado license plate, would you pull me over for suspicion of weed? Okay. Detroit D, we must contain the quarterback. I would use Brian Branch or Iffy as a spy on him. Could be they do that. Could be. And there's fan, I see so many matchup problems for the Commanders. I'd say, their defense is going to be challenged. Now, we'll have to see if they come up with something. They may try to catch us off guard. Brian Daniels versus zone tonight, 18 out of 24, 183 yards, 2 touchdowns versus man and blitz, 6 of 11, 85 yards, 2 sacks, and 3 turnover-worthy plays. Hey, man, you're sounding like Brian, a Pro Football Focus guy. Thank you for that information, though. Good homework there. Big Daz, hopefully we can get a couple more guys back to help us out. We'll see. That'll be one of the interesting things to see from MCDC and the Detroit Lions in the next 48 hours, if anybody's listed to come back, etc. Dale, greetings, salutations, Duke Crew. After Packers lost, this became our best matchup. Just need to contain Daniels and run the ball against their porous defense. I get their defense is not listed as, I think it's fair to say they're not listed as one of the heavyweights. They have played better in recent weeks, even though, like I pointed out earlier, they gave up whatever it was, 33 or something like that to Philly. But, we can all say that they've not been good in the past, but we need them to not be good in the playoffs. France, I thought the NFC had the more balanced games on paper. Commanders would have been my ideal matchup for us. Probably a lot of truth to that versus the AFC, where it just seems like some of the matchups really weren't very compelling. Man, poor Denver yesterday got this 7-0 lead, and it was all downhill from there. Robert G, good morning, Dan. Exclamation points. Good morning to you too, Robert. Got that pick right, laughing out loud. I'm so happy we don't have the Rams or the Vikings. Yes, and at least not this week. Brian, Daniels against man, going to be shaky. Just got to keep him in the pocket. Let's make sure we do that. Stephanie, Brother Ken, laughing out loud. No, why? All right, we'll find out. I think our advantage is Bates. Hey, we'll take all the advantage we can get. Dale, Brian, great stats, 100%. Thank you for bringing those up, Brian. Very good job with that. Joseph, I think we have a better field goal kicker. Yes, I think he's pretty spot on. Stephanie, good morning, boys. Exclamation point. I have to work during the game more than likely, but I'll be listening in. We got this. Hey, well, you know what? Have Lions Talk Live on. We'll have the live cast on, all that kind of stuff. Just enjoy the game as best you can. Lions Talk Live fan, iffy spy JD, could be just that, or it could be blitzing on him. So, anyways, Bo, Doink, the worst sound in football. Yeah, man, it sounds great in Washington today, though. Robert, you never know. We may see the Rams or the Vikings in the NFC Championship game. Sounds like a lot of you guys are thinking about it. And hey, they win against Philly. Yes, whoever wins tonight's game wins against Philly. We'll see them in the title game. Susan, good morning. Duke Crew gang. Exclamation point. No easy games at this point in the season. Just win in advance. 100%. Survive in advance. It is playoff time. Johnny, yes, we got this. Yes, we do. Right, good morning, Duke Crew. Nobody is leaving Ford Field with a W. Lombardi incoming. Oh, yeah, I'll go with that. 100%, my friend. Brother Ken, Stephanie, I could not travel outside of Colorado without being pulled over after we became the first state to legalize marijuana. Wow, really? That's a thing? I mean, people pull you over? Sorry to hear that, man. Yeah, I guess I wouldn't have thought about that. Dale, greetings, salutations, Dan and the Duke Crew. Do you see what I see Saturday? Match made in heaven. All the teams looked beatable this weekend. I see Super Bowl. Woo, baby. 100%. And hey, the only thought I had is Philly, I'm guessing their next game, the passing attack will be much better because you know what? Hurts will have less rust on him. I thought that was the opportunity. I think I mentioned it this week. Why I thought Green Bay could beat him. I thought you could catch Philly's offense a little sluggish since he's just coming back. That ended up, I thought, being for the most part the point, but I just didn't see, Green Bay turning the ball over 4 times, which, for them, they did. That's probably the difference in the game. Bo, there was a great fake punt this weekend. There was. Jason, only 6 days, rest and on the road. Evil laugh. Sorry, Daniels, I like you, but this is where it ends. Ground and pound, Monty status, question mark. It sounds like Monty's going to be back, although we'll get that officially from the team, my guess, in the next 48 hours. So you guys will want to stay tuned for that. Marcus, good morning, Dan and Duke Crew. Exclamation point. I love the matchup versus Commanders. The pundits are already saying the bye week will have a negative impact on us because the rest. Ask the Cowboys about how we play after a bye. Good point there. Good point indeed. Papa, I am very nervous for this game, but excited. I think we all are, man. I mean, it's the playoffs, right? You win, you survive, you lose, you go home, season's over. So, yeah, there's going to be some of that nervous excitement. Man Bear, good morning, Dana Rooney and Scooby-Doo crew. Exclamation point. You all have a fantastic day. Same to you, man. Hopefully you have a phenomenal day, man. Jason, Marcus, great point. Fair enough. Quentin, greetings, salutations. We need to own both lines. Levi needs to play big boy ball for us. Yeah, Levi, Reader. I mean, they're all going to be pumped, though. We get that. You get that kickoff going. You get those first snaps of the game. My guess is Levi, amongst others, are going to have some pretty good amount of energy flowing through those veins. Dale, Washington loves those close games. Detroit offense is much harder to control compared to the Bucs. Even Philadelphia looked weak. Yeah, 100% with that. Brother Ken, Duke Crew, don't sleep on the Commanders. Their defense stinks, but they have an explosive offense that leads the league in time of possession. We're going to have to limit them for sure. Non-Lavers, good morning. Dan and Duke Crew, exclamation point. We need another great game plan by AG. 100% there. If he can do some stuff to stop him, if he can have anywhere like the success he had defensively against the Vikings last game, we've got a real good chance then. So, you are dead right, Ken. Got to find a way to stop them. 100%. Robert, if you think Darnold was under pressure, wait until you see what they dial up on Jaden Daniels. 100% there. Yeah, keep him confused, keep him rattled, keep him off balance. That would be my biggest thing. Lions Talk Live fans, Sonic and Knuckles. Woo! Yeah, I think we'll see them out there. Dale, I think Monty is playing at Jason Berry. Time will tell through, though, I guess. Just going to Scuttlebutt News, I've heard. Either way, pound that rock and poise, not panic, as Rod Marinelli would say. There you go, man. That's a call back to somebody in the past. Voltron, hit that like and subscribe button, people. Yes, if you guys can, hit all the buttons. You guys know they all help. Dennis, good morning. Dan and Duke Crew, back at you, Dennis. Detroit D, Philly passing looked very suspect. Yeah, and I think some of that's rust. Other part is, the Packers actually do have a pretty good passing defense. So we'll see if we can take advantage if we face them. We're going to do. Good morning, Duke Crew. The Commanders will be on KP duty after our game one pride. 100%. Let's put them on that. Johnny L, game over. Let's hope so for the Commanders. Dave, I think Philly will lose to the Rams or Vikings. There are some people talking about that, and I won't dive into it deeply, but I do think it could happen for sure. Dale, all roads lead through Ford Field. Bring it, Commanders. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, do. We keep winning. We keep the home field advantage until we get to the Super Bowl. Brother Ken, final warning. This game isn't going to be as easy as y'all think it may be. The Commanders are no joke. 100%. They made it to this point for a reason. Don't overlook anybody. I like the way you're thinking. Trey D, I hope Monty is 95%. If not, I wouldn't play him until the NFC Championship round or Super Bowl. Could be what they do. Brother Ken, Dave Bing, what up, though? Johnny L, you are correct, Brother Ken. Joseph, there are no easy wins. No, especially in the playoffs. Detroit D, no one is stopping us if the Detroit Lions, this is Detroit Lions football, grit and grind, 100%. Johnny L, no, there is not. Detroit D, we. All right. Hookadoo, I don't count it as a win until the end of the fourth quarter. Correct. When there's zeros on the clock, we got at least one more point, then we can count it as a win. See, Ian, what do you got? Hey, Coach, exclamation point. I had a Lions video I wanted to send your way. Where's a good place to send it? You can text it over to me. You see my number on the start of the show. Jason, or OT, okay. Dale, and the 6-19 was the record with data for a few years back on 6 seeds versus the number 1 seeds. Okay, that's good data for us. Troy D, I hope the offense starts fast and puts the pressure on the Commanders. I like the way you're thinking. That would be most ideal. Michael, good morning. All go Lions. Back at you. JDC, woo, that defense. Don Kong, Super Bowl or bust, baby. 100% indeed. Don Kong, Jaden Daniels shall be fun, laughing out loud, exciting. Here, flipping go. I'll go with that. Brother Ken, Johnny L, I've been watching the Commanders, and they've got the grit times 10. Okay. Ian, hey, Coach, you have a Lions? Yeah, just text it over to me. Moonscar Blade, Brother Ken, now the Michigan has legalized weed. You can't drive down a street or highway without smelling it. Kalamazoo has like 30 dispensaries alone. That's not incorrect. Whole town smells like a, all right, we'll go with that. Ian, hope you're having a good morning. Same to you. The Trim Reaper, time to send end Washington's fairy tale. Go Lions. Woo! Yeah, that would be most ideal for us. End their season. James, oh boy, I figured we would be playing them. Let me get my Mountain Dew now. Yeah, go out and get it, man. Get ready for it, man, because it's going to be one heck of a week, and I can't wait for Saturday night. Hopefully you're having a good morning, James. Anymore, I wouldn't mess with Stephanie. She might be sporting a serious Red Hawk. Okay. Hookadoo, true, Jason Berry. Moonscar Blade, 70 Water wouldn't be able to pick you out of the crowd, Colorado Plate or otherwise. Okay, fair enough. Raider, what a great channel. Hit that thumbs up button. Yeah, I see we got a little over 800 total people watching on all platforms. If you guys can, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. That all helps out. Brother Ken, Moonscar, really? Question mark. I must be on late show. Must be. Rock, Coach Rock, good morning all. At least we get one more day to prep instead of waiting for tonight's game. 100%. We already know who we're going to play. And my anticipation is Lions coaching staffs probably had a lot of the subordinate coaches for the offense coordinator, defense coordinator, etc., already breaking down and analyzing all the options for us to play. So they went into this game having some stuff before the end result was even known. That way they were just kind of ahead of the curve. At least that's what I typically have found over the decades. Thomas, hello from Royal Oak. Live in Atlanta now, live in Atlanta now. Go Lions. Hey, good morning to you. Hopefully having a good start to your day. Chad, greetings, salutations, Coach Dan and the Duke Crew. Let's go plow through the Commanders. Let's go Pride. Can I get a woo? You want a woo? I'll give you a woo. How about a 1, 2, and a 3 and a... And there you go. JDC, Dreforce rocks, and he rolls. Ian, about to hit that lucky 13K. Yeah, we're under 200 away, so hopefully we can get there before Saturday. Moonscar, it's ridiculously over the top. It might just be. James, I'm hitting the like button. Thank you for that, by the way. Brother Ken, driving through the deep south was nerve-wracking. They figured that we all were potheads. Sorry about that, man. Sorry about that. But, yeah, I think, and Moonscar brought it up. I know I live in Kalamazoo. There are a lot of dispensaries here. I'm not as familiar with other spots like Grand Rapids. I'm assuming there's a few there, but I don't really know that. Hookadoo, yeah, Moonscar, I thought it was legal in Michigan. I don't puff, but used to. Okay. Lions fan 951, can't wait for the game, but we got to have a good plan for these mobile quarterbacks we are about to face. Super Bowl, baby. Yeah, in the Lions over the course of the season versus past years, in my opinion, I think they've done better. Doesn't mean you're done perfect. I think it's impossible to be perfect against it. Somebody at some point is going to break containment and get some yards, but it's not like it had been in the past years. Chad, best Lions chat live. Thanks for that, man. Thank you very much. Thank you, Coach Dan and Duke Crew. Woo! Appreciate what you do. Hey, we all do it together. Collective unit. If we didn't have the Duke Crew, this show wouldn't work. And so I'm very thankful we all get along so well. James, I can't believe that Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson are going anywhere. We want them here with us 100%. I know a lot of people had Ben Johnson going to New England. Well, that's one off the board. We'll have to see what happens with the other places. But the spots will fill up fairly quickly, I think, in the next week or so. Michael, nobody ready for the Detroit Lions? Nobody can be until you play them. And good morning, Michael. Jesse, good morning, Coach, and the Duke Crew. Exclamation points. I just booked my trip home to Detroit for a Super Bowl weekend, or to the D to Super Bowl weekend. Got to watch with our people. Can't wait to come home. Woo! Well, hopefully it is nothing but all sunshine and rain, or all sunshine and smiles, whatever you want to say, Mountain Dew flowing for the Super Bowl for the Lions. Let's see, Kerry, Washington Commanders are a great team. Remember, one game at a time. Let's go Lions. Detroit fans, don't sell your tickets to Washington fans. I got to imagine most Lions fans have been waiting their lifetime for this. Are there going to be some Washington fans there? Sure, absolutely. But I'm going to guess the vast majority will be Lions fans there. Lions fan, what do you got? By the way, thanks for another great season, Dan. You're my favorite YouTube. Thumbs up. Go Lions forever. Hey, thank you for being here, my friend. Derek, good morning, Coach and crew. The Doink test was supplied by the Lions with fresh meat. 100%. It was indeed. Jessica, me, myself, and I. Let's go Lions. 100%. Good to see you this morning, Jess. Phil, good morning. Back at you, Phil. Trim Reaper. Lions will beat the Commanders 28-27. Oh, yeah, I'll go with that, man. I'm hoping more like for 97-3, but we'll see if we get that. James, woo, can't wait to get you back in it. Go Lions, 100%. Let's see, Brother Ken prediction. You're going to have to wait until Friday for Dan O'Damas to make his bold predictions. JDC Lions Talk Live. The Factor Factory, we'll go with that. Courtney, this is the Super Bowl, the Super Bowl first game. Woo! Well, let's get there. Brother Ken, prediction. Whoever wins the NFC will beat the heck out of the AFC champs. I like the way you're thinking. Miles Mark, greetings, salutations. Lions coach is probably psyched. New team to scheme against means new coaches at creative calls and looks. Going to be fun. To your point, Miles Marker, you think about the fact that Green Bay, or probably Tampa Bay to an extent, and Minnesota, they've seen a lot of what Ben Johnson will do. Now, hear me when I say this, they're going to be more familiar with some of the trickeration factors that Ben Johnson lines like to use. But the other part is Washington. They've got them on a short week. Man, they're going to, I feel for them in a certain way, because there are so many trick plays in that playbook for Ben Johnson that I just don't think there's any way you can really confidently get your team prepared for the vast majority of them without just flat out overloading them. We'll see what happens, though. I could be completely wrong. Maybe they're going to be totally fine with it. Scar Raiders have a tight end and a defensive end. Ben Johnson would be a few years away from turning that franchise around. Yeah, you're definitely, we all get it, man. The NFL, you got to have a quarterback to win. All right, Hookadoo, the Commanders' young quarterback won't know how to handle the roar of Ford Field. Probably very true. Sarge, good morning, Coach and Duke Crew. Love the blog. Dan, hey, love having you here, my friend, as always. Lauren, good morning, Coach and Duke Crew. Episode 6 of the Michigan Panther Pride up at 6:30 today. We'll check it out. Matt, today is my birthday. Early birthday gift is a Lions division win in a Superdome, Super Bowl. Woo, woo. You know what? Just for you, since it's your birthday, we'll give you a happy birthday, my friend. Manifest my destiny. The script is simple. I like it. Just win, baby. Youper, first time listening live. Love the show. Love having you here, man. This summer I'll be heading up to the UP, by the way, to Detour Village. Daniel, good morning. Dan and crew, back at you. Hookadoo. Morning, brother. Mile marker. We have grit. Yes, we do. Brother Ken, happy birthday, Matt. Indeed. JDC, getting real in the D. Go Lions, 100%. Manifest my destiny. The script is simple. Stop the run and prevent JD from scrambling and make him throw the ball. 34-21 Lions. I like the way you're thinking. Restore justice. After watching the highlights of Tampa Bay Washington game, I think we lucked out by Washington getting the win. Tampa quarterback looked better. Yeah, Baker Mayfield, man, he's had a pretty good couple years now that he's been in there. It's unfortunate they lost. I like Tampa Bay's coach. I like the quarterback. I like their team. I just don't like them when they play us. Miles Margaret, good morning. Hookadoo, Lauren Etch. This will be a brand new game. No history for them. Going to see pure football, 100%. Trim Reaper, Red Wings, Pistons are on fire too. Woo! Yes, they are. Dan, I'm supposed to go to my girlfriend's grandma's 90th birthday party Saturday. Oh, boy. Hopefully they have the game on for you, my friend. Enjoy it. Enjoy it indeed. Paid Banks, what do you got? Lions winning 35-14. I would take that in a heartbeat. I think all Lions fans would. Anthony, do you think we get this next game? If we win this game, what do you think we're going to face the NFC Championship game? For right now, I still think it's probably going to be Philly because it's in Philly. Although I do like the way the Minnesota Vikings match up with Philly. I think they could get it done. Doesn't matter what I think, though. It's what, you got three teams out there. Rams could do some stuff. I just think they're going to have to really overcommit the Rams, that is, to stop the Philadelphia run game. Boot, good morning, Dan and Duke Crew. Back at you. Here's Johnny. Lions avenge the 1983 playoff loss. Lions 42-31 over the Commanders. Hey, don't forget the 91 playoff loss either, Johnny, in the NFC title game. Restore justice. Tampa, Washington was a low-scoring game compared to what the Lions have been racking up. This is very true indeed. Sarge, Lions trounced the Washington politicians 36-14. Oh, yeah, 16-2. Let that sink in when we win this. 16-2. Lauren, I'm excited to play someone different. I think we all are. Troy D, AG needs to stay aggressive all game. I think he's going to have to be 100%. Otherwise, you're going to be, in my opinion, playing into the Commanders' game plan. Jack, getting the Commanders is a blessing. Let's hope so. Restore justice. I don't think Montgomery is ready to turn. We'll find out this week for sure. I think Green Bay would have been a better matchup. It would have been, especially with all the injuries they got yesterday, but we didn't get it. Chad, I like the Commanders, but would love to have beaten the Bucs to get that loss back from earlier in the season. Yeah, 100% there. But you know what? They ain't going to have to worry about now. Bo, my ideal matchup is the next one. I like it. That's some real coach talk there. Let's see, James, I figured Washington Commanders would be next up, and you got your wish. Brother Ken, Coach Dan, when are the Commanders going to revert back to the Redskins? We'll find out, man. That's beyond me. Trom Reaver, I'm happy it's the Commanders. Lions beat next, 100%. Detroit D, Lions can get some revenge from the 91 NFC title game. Yes, indeed. Hopefully they do. I think, I've already kind of told you guys, I think we're going to win. Final countdown. Happy don't want to play the Vikings or Rams this round of the playoffs. We're not going to have to worry about that right now. Here's Johnny. Happy for the matchup, revenge tour, and keep it going. Chad, agreed, Bo. Sarge, Washington was my first wish, Dan. Hey, and you got that wish. It sounds like a lot of you guys wanted the Commanders. Victor, yeah, the Lions are 8.5 favorites over the Commanders. Man, I hadn't even checked that out. Thank you for that, Victor. Thank you indeed. A gun guy, the Deers don't know what we're walking into. Yeah, the Commanders don't know what they're walking into. Go Lions. I like it. Chad, Redskins don't look like they want to. Will be an easy out. Jaden is dang good. He is, man. And again, I think, man, they struck gold with him. James, next team up. Yes, indeed. Chad just went on the road and took out a good Tampa Bay team. Yeah, correct with that. Not to mention our history with them in the playoffs. We still got this, though, 100%. Shave, what do you got? Will Russ be a factor for the rest of the team? Is very important. Lions defense due to injuries. Could there be some rust? Absolutely. You've had 2 weeks off. I just think, man, with home field, the way we operate, all that stuff, if it's there, I don't think it's going to be there very long. Restore justice. If the Lions bring the heat like they did against the Vikings last week, it will be a beatdown. I think we're going to. I think that's basically the way we're going to have to play on defense throughout the playoffs. JDC, I ain't scared. Go Lions. Neither am I. I like it. Restore justice. He's still rookie. He is indeed. Bo, I. All right, Detroit D. It's going to be a tough game, but we'll be up for the task. I think we will be. Chad, restore justice. Jaden Dillon did pretty good against pressure last night, though. Fair enough. Against zone pressure, correct. Papa D's, what up, Happy Duke crew? Exclamation point, bring on Washington. Well, you're going to bring him on Saturday night. Joseph C., Coach Dan, and Duke crew, good morning, everyone. Exclamation point, back at you. I'm on my way to work. What about our Lions? Question mark. Commanders are going to go down. Woo! Lions win 34-23. I'll take that. Not laughers. I think we need to contain JD in the pocket like we did with Kyler Murray. Yeah, probably some very good similarities there. Troy D, get Gibbs on one with the linebackers. Yeah, one-on-one with the linebackers. Gary, read salutations, Coach Duke Crew. Do you think playing Saturday night instead of Sunday will have an effect on Washington? One day, yes. Just from the standpoint, you're giving their coaching staff 1 day less to prepare and trying to focus on things. I mean, they're going to basically, you're forcing Washington, instead of having your normal amount of rest, they have to start practicing, in my opinion, Tuesday. So you can get something Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday, you can get a walkthrough before you hop on the plane and come over here. But since you play Saturday, it's just less rest, less preparation time. It's part of, the Lions have earned a first-round bye and home field advantage. James Washington is saying that they want the Philadelphia Eagles in the NFC Championship Series. Looks to me like they aren't thinking about the Detroit Lions. Let's hope they're not. Maybe we run them over. Shiv, what do you got? This definitely is next game up instead of next man up. We should be quite confident in not tense prime time games. Lions are 7-0. Yes, we are in prime time games. We've done very well this season. Let's see. Restore Justice Chad. I only saw the highlights. I thought Tampa looked a bit tougher in the little I saw. Fair enough. All right, we've got 9 minutes left. Let's see if I can keep on going here. Moonscar, Lions are heavily favored. Opening spread was Lions by 5.5. Now it's already 9. Wow, that means tons of money came in Detroit to cover 5.5. Vegas scared quickly to move that much. Yeah, that's a heck of a move in less than, 10, 12 hours. Detroit D, JMO should have a large role. Also Laporta. Yeah, I think they're both will be. Dorothy, good morning. How's Florida treating you this morning, Dorothy? See, Sarge, I agree with your assessment, Dan. Hey, every want to get something right. Southwest, good morning, all. Jaden Daniels is no joke. He doesn't play like a rookie. No, he doesn't, man. He had a little stretch over the middle of the season where he kind of went down, but since then, he's gone back to what he did at the start of the year. Cody, hey, Coach, my girlfriend wants to know if they've made some cream cheese had since Philly beat up Green Bay. Probably have indeed. Restore justice. If the Lions defense shows up, it won't even be close. Probably true. JDC, Hoobastank, without a fight. Sarge, let's not forget the 12th man. Yeah, the Lions fanatics, or let's see, Ford Field fanatics, I think a lot of the game is going to come down to what we do in the home field. Victor, Marshawn Lattimore is the shutdown corner for the Commanders. He's played very well in the past. Let's see what we do with him. Detroit D, our safeties will play a very big role in containing JD. I think you're spot on with that. The three-headed monster we got, I think, will be a big factor for us. Southwest Lions definitely have to stay in their lanes with this guy 100%. Restore justice, pressure. Detroit D, that got worked by Mike Evans. Yes, he did. He did get worked by Mike Evans a little bit. Who's Latimer covering if St. Brown JMO gets off, vice versa? That will be a big question. Who do they put him on? Brooke Snyder, Wash squeaked out a win over Philly 36-33, but that was when Hurts left with a concussion very early. They did indeed. Eddie's Fish, I think the defense, we need to not blitz as much because the Lions have a hard time stopping quarterbacks that run. I see the Lions mixing it up on defense and running a lot of zone defense. They have played more zone in recent weeks. Courtney, run, baby, run. Knuckles and Sonic. Woo! I'll go with that. James, woo! Superdome, Super Bowl, one pride. Go Lions. Woo! Back at you. Detroit D, Ben will attack every weakness the Commanders have. I think you're 100% correct with that. Southwest, the Commanders are a fun, tough team. The way they go for it on fourth down definitely reminds me of Lions. Yeah, a lot of similarities. Seymour Butts, revenge from 91 in Detroit, I trust. Correct. Miles Barker, Bo Booth, I do like watching successful fake punts. That was a fun one. It was indeed. Restored justice games are won by racking up points. Detroit does that well. Yes, they do. Dominic, good morning from Texas. Good morning to you. Brother Ken, Sellers Light, I look at the Commanders as Lions liked. They've got a lot of grit and our Warriors. Yeah, they do a lot of similarities. Let's see, Hookadoo, that was an impressive fake punt. It was indeed. Courtney, I love this game. Not a cakewalk. No, it won't be. No, at this point in the season, I'd be surprised if there are any super easy games. Bo, too bad they blew the opportunity, Moonscar. Restored justice. Hopefully, we will see a new successful Detroit trick play. Probably will. I'd say put money on it. Robert, Lions offense will carry the day. Woo! 100%. Robert, let's do this, Commanders. C note. Grit morning and have a great day, a grit day. Let's go Lions. Back at you, my friend. Tommy, Darius Smith got a sack against Commanders earlier this year. Let's hope he does it again. Robert, let's go Lions. Yes, indeed. Great Lakes. Good morning, Coach. Hope you all had a great weekend. What's the biggest challenge with the Redskins? Mobile quarterback? Yeah, that, and I think he throws the ball very well, especially deep shots. I want to see him, if I'm AG, I want to see him do it for 4 quarters against man and pressure. For a rookie, yes, correct. Cool under pressure. Southwest, they need to go back to bring the Redskins, bring back that logo. The Native American Guardian Association wants it. The greater recognition of Native American heritage. Yeah, and that's the one thing I never understood with the Redskins argument is the people who came up with the Redskins name and the logo were Native Americans. Let's see, Restored Justice. There's seems to be a home field missed penalties advantage happening around the league this season. Usually are stacked against Detroit. We'll find out if it will on Saturday. Sarge, Lions Talk Live in the morning. Oh, yeah, I'll go with all that. Let's see, there are under 4 minutes left, so I'm going to go through the comments section, look for people who haven't been on as much. Robert, home field advantage would be awesome, and Randall Daniels and their offense line, let's hope they do. Any injury updates? Not just as of yet, Great Lakes. We'll probably get some today or tomorrow. Buddy, morning, everyone. Same to you, buddy. Good to see you as always. Ezra Great, good morning. Dan Laduco, ready to beat some Commanders. Yes, indeed. I like the way you're thinking. Tyler, use Gibbs as a spy on defense. Maybe they will. Don Kong, I definitely have seen. I definitely see having to cover come to D-Mont fumble. All right, I will go with that. Buddy, Washington, then Philly. Commanders played with 4th place schedule, and we have played much tougher teams, make us battle-tested. We are definitely battle-tested. Big Daz, Denver pulled a Jack Fox pass for a first down. Yes, they did. Trumps, let's get something straight here. They are the Redskins. To a lot of people, they forever will be. Just like, I know I mess up sometimes. I say Oakland Raiders or LA Raiders, etc. Victor, agreed. Philly's defense is brutal on offenses. Knocked 3 of the Packers starters out of the game. Yes, they did. They did just that. Trumps, I heard they brought in Jeremiah. Okay, yep. Thomas, take me off. Okay, talk me off. All right. See, Tyler, Gibbs is a football player and should be used on defense too. All right, we'll see if you do. Yes, no politics, none whatsoever. Trump is being back to Buddy Epstein. There you go. Thomas, 1991 NFC less. It was. There we go. See, Moneybags 11. Lions are here. Humble Pie is very good. Be humble, Lions fans. Be humble. I'll agree with that. Joseph, he does it all the time. Yeah, no, Trump's, try to avoid that if you would, please. Don't want to have to put you in timeout. Thomas, hey, the Commanders are no freaking joke. We better be ready. Yeah, at this point in the season, there are no easy games. Yeah, don't overlook anybody. Hey, Moneybags, what do you got? Lions fans, don't sell your tickets. So hopefully they don't. Moonscar Washington averaged 28.5 points per game during the season. Yes, they did. JDC, Coach Dan's, quote, the trickeration factor. Yes, there are always some tricks to be had. Let's see, Tyler. Lions average 32, I think. That is correct. I think you are spot on. All right, might make it to the game. Go enjoy it if you do. Jerome, Dan, why did I think you live in Detroit? You actually live closer to me, and I'm in Grand Rapids. Yeah, I live in Kalamazoo, so I like Detroit. I've worked in Detroit for papers, etc., but I live in Kazoo. All right, see, Tyler, only team I don't think we can beat is Baltimore. Might be true, but you know what? I think we get to the Super Bowl. We're going to beat anybody. We're going to get there. Let's see, Tyler, I thought Tampa was going to win for sure. All right, yep. Let's see, Spirit of Detroit podcast. What's up, man? What's up with you? Miles Marker, yes, you should see the garbage he says in the short streams. Dan doesn't later in the day, okay? Let's see. All right, Trumps, yeah. Yeah, you got to cool down, man. Cool down a little bit. All right, putting in a little timeout to regain your composure. Peter, let's see. Pete, what do you got? Lions 45, Washington 9, guaranteed. I like the way you're thinking. John W., keep the kid in the podcast and dial up some edge blitzes. Let's see what they do that. Famous RW, hey, coach and crew, run ball, and we'll be okay. I think we'll probably run it. Okay, Dan, as I already said that, and never happens, Trumps. Yes, Bo Booth, happy trails, Duke crew, all done and dusted for another day. See you tomorrow. We'll see you then. JDC, happy trails, go Lions, victory. Lauren, we'll see you guys at Boss Up, Ball Out. Yes, he's up next, I believe. Here, let's see, Moonscar, until tomorrow, Dawn, y'all, we'll see you then, Moonscar Blade, famous RW. Some game plan we used against Gino in week 3. Might be some samples of that, exactly. Mark, good morning, everyone. Go Lions, back at you. Keegan, what do you got? Commanders have played a team like the Lions. J-Mo gonna burn those DBs, and good luck stopping Gibbs. That's probably also true. 2 good factors for us. Pete, back at you. Paid Banks, Lions will win 35-14. I'll take that. Earl, hey, haven't seen you in a minute. Earl, good to see you. Good morning, Dan and the Duke crew. Back at you. Let's see, JDC, Pete, I see that. Woo! And raise you one. Woo! Thomas, Lions, I pray stay away from zone D. We always get smoked on D when we do. Look at the stats. Fair enough. Any more? Just one thing. I watched Green Cheese use the Lions' offensive plays. They weren't good. No, you got to practice them to be good at it. Phil, what we mean it, no politics. Yeah, I put somebody in a little bit of a timeout. He's got to cool that stuff. I'm not down with it. Motown, hard to do sports without politics. Sports is nothing but politics. Yeah, we don't do them here, though, Motown Mitch. Let's see. Stu, what up, Doe? Give me a woo, Dan. All right, yeah, you want to woo? I'll give you a 1, 2, and a 3. All right, it's Joseph. Yes, more politics. Yeah, yes. Yeah, we're gonna avoid politics. It's Hookadoo. Happy trails, Duke crew. Let's reward Detroit. 100%. Well, good show. Thank you for that, buddy. 9 drinks. Good morning, Duke crew. Hey, nice new pizza pie thing for you. So good to see you there, my friend. Pete, back at you, brother Ken. Thanks, Phil. Trump's genius really needs to stop. Yeah, and I put him in a little bit of a time out for that. Miles Margaret, 15-2, North Champs, #1 seed. Yes, we are. All right, guys, if there is some breaking news later today, I'll get it over to you as quick as possible. If you would be so kind before you check on out, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit all the buttons. Otherwise, take care. Be a good human being. Do something nice for somebody you don't know. And we'll see you guys all in the next Lions Talk Live. Take care, everybody.
Excuse me, sir, would you... Donations to the Reverend Moon? Juice for Jesus?
Read about Jehovah's Witness? How about Buddhism?
Jerry's kids? Oh, yeah. Scientology?
Or nuclear power?